Okay, so now what I'd like to talk to you about is how to get data into Domo if it is not easily accessible because there's no connector, whatnot. So let's do this. This happens all the time. If you remember our ways to get ingredients, our connectors, I'm going to go to data, hit that cloud icon, and we have multiple ways that we discussed. And hey, what if we are looking for a connector and it's just not there? Like I'm going to pick on Calendly. Man, I don't see Calendly. And if you don't know what Calendly is, a way to schedule meetings and whatnot, how do I get this data in here? Well, we have a couple ways. So here's Calendly, for example. Here's mine. And what we can do is we can do a couple ways. One is first what we want to kind of look for to see, well, how can we get this in here? Can we export it? I can export it. And I could copy and paste it and put it up as a file upload like we went over. That's one way to do it. But look here, if I go to integration and apps, I could use an API. Oh, okay. In Domo, if I go to connectors, if I type in JSON no code connector, here's where we can connect APIs. Now, APIs are a little tricky. So if you do not know how to use them, I would suggest you talk to a data engineer if you have one. If you do not have one, I'd say reach out to your Domo AE and they will try to hook you up with a solution consultant and they will be able to help do this with you so you can pull it in. Done that multiple times. Fantastic. So that's one way that we can do it through the API, which I would say is actually the best way to go do it. But hey, what if we don't have an API or I don't know how to use it or it doesn't have what I need? Well, we have other ways. So check this out. We can also do other ways, middle grounds, like Zapier. I'll use this actually quite a bit, where I'll have Calendly drop to Zapier, Zapier drop to Google Sheets. And now I just use my Google Sheets connector, pull it right back in. And that's another way that we can do it. So there are different workarounds we could do. Okay, well, what if we don't have it in Zapier and we don't have an API? What else can we do? Well, if we can schedule a CSV export as an email attachment, then we could just use the email trick that we went over before. So that's really cool. I use this one quite a bit. This has saved me multiple times where now I go, okay, there's no API. I can't use the little Zapier trick or I don't want to. Oh, I can do an email. Cool. Hey, send that email every day or every month, every week, whatever I want it to be as an attachment. Use Domo to compile it and to build the data set within Domo. Pretty awesome. There's another way that I'll also do this SFTP thing, CSV, right here. What I could do is this CSV SFTP pull. What this is saying, hey, if you know what these things are, you have this host name user, basically a folder, you can have whatever tool you're using, if they have the ability to drop that file into this thing called an SFTP, Secure File Transfer Portal, whatever, and you can just go pull it from there automatically. You just need to know the name of the file, and Domo will pull it in for you every day, every month, whatever you want it to be. So that's another way. So we can do it for the API. We could do it from some type of connection. We could do the email trick. We could do an SFTP. We have all these ways that we can do it. We have other ways as well. A manual way is you can, for instance, what if I want this report? Well, I could do this. I could say export this as Google Sheets or as a CSV, and I can, again, just do a file upload if I want to. I would suggest you try to not do as many manual uploads as possible because people forget, people go on vacation, it gets really hard. So the hierarchy you should go in your mind is how can we make this as automated as possible? Whether it's an API, maybe that's too hard to do. We can do the email trick, SFTP, whatever. If you can put it into Excel, Google Sheets, you're golden. You can instantly put it into Domo very easily. That might work out for you. So that's how I think about this when I'm thinking, how do I get data into Domo if it's not available because we don't have a connector yet? And another way is you could just reach out to Domo to help you make a connector. Now, I've done it, and there are some negotiations and some pieces you have to kind of walk through, but it is a possibility to help Domo make that connector. And I think one of the most amazing objective things about Domo is all the connectors that it has. So Domo is constantly making connectors. They have 1,000. And like I've said, some other competitor products have 80. 80 is not a lot. And 1,000, it just keeps growing. There are so many connectors in here. So if you want to reach out to Domo to maybe work and build a connector, you can potentially have that as another option. Anyway, those are just different ways that you can connect your data.